Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now for those of you who may be new here, or need a bit of a refresher, the weekly challenges are a set of 5 events that go live Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your region. These consist of 4 races that can usually be found in-game and may need to be unlocked depending on your progression, while the 5th is a special event that usually takes place as a one-make race, a time trial, or a mission challenge, whichever comes up. So, without further ado, let's see what this week has on offer. So we kick things off with the Sunday Cup Classic. This is a 2-lap race at Goodwood Motor Circuit. This requires a road car of this vintage, of course, and you can see some of the examples here. Suggested performance points of 350. So I'm just going to choose this car right here, the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint. It's a build I've done, and it's a pretty simple one. So let's take a lap around here at the Goodwood Motor Circuit. So going into Maverick Corner here, I tend to go down to 3rd gear, give myself a good run out of that corner there, then get on the throttle. So this is a lot of speed here, and obviously of course not entirely straight because it curves quite a bit, but this is where you have to be careful if you are going to drive something this old, especially if you haven't done much tuning to it, because they do tend to move quite a bit. So next we go through, so we're going to go through Ford Water. Now we hit through St. Mary's Corner. 3rd gear is the usual preferred gear I find effective there. And then next, Levant Corner. So we go down to 3rd gear, not 2nd, 3rd feels about good enough. And also it's ideal for the acceleration you get out of the corner, but it's not that pointed. So down the Levant straight away we go. And of course this also has a bit of a kink in it. This gives you just enough time to set yourself up for a really challenging set of corners here. So we break right down into 4th and 3rd gear for Woodcut. You got balance the throttle as you go through here. And then this, the trickiest part of them all, the chicane. One of the narrowest corners here. So you get a good acceleration out of there. Have you done everything right? That is a lap around the Goodwood Motor Circuit. So now, onto the race itself. So, best spots for overtaking I found were Maverick Corner, Turn 1, Ford Water, St. Mary's Corner, and Woodcut Corner, and done right. The only real corner I would say be aware of is the chicane. Just don't really encourage any kind of overtakes through there. It's just too narrow, and there's no real way to make it work without disaster happening. So avoid that at all costs. Next, the European FR Challenge 550, 3-lap race at Dragon Trail Gardens, and a road car from the following countries with an FR drivetrain. Suggested performance points of 550, as the name suggests, and you can see it's a kind of majorly BMW affair. And I guess this one is, since I'll do it, the BMW 3 GT4 build, and you can see what I've done to it there, so if you want to give this a try with this car, feel free to do so. So, let's take a lap around here. So we go down into Turn 1, and I go down through 4th gear. It's something I've done since GT Sport, and I carry a lot of speed while doing so. So you get to Turn 2, down 2nd gear. So you take that into that curb. You want to avoid the sausage curb while you're there. But here, you want to go all the way over that one. And so down this section. And set yourself up to the right here for this very time, Turn 5 here. Brake right about before the 100 mark, down to 2nd gear. I tend to use that curb there. Accelerate right on out. We have these very interesting sections here. There's 6, 4th gear, and then I go down to 3rd for 7 and 8. 7, hold that throttle a bit, use a bit of that curb, and then on the power about here, you want to let curb to stop you. And then down to third gear for 9, and I just hold it in third. I feel like that's just enough to give you good momentum. And when you do accelerate right about here, you got enough power and enough momentum to get it and do it. Now we're going right up here, and again to turn 13, brake right about where that barrier ends, all the way to second gear, and 14 as well. Hold it, and end on the throttle here. You got all that curve there. Keep the car on the track, and if you've done everything just right there, that is a lap around Dragon Trail Gardens. And now on to the race itself. So, best spots for overtaking I found were turns 1 and 2, turns 5 through 8, and turns 13 and 14. A lot of good spots where the AI really brake early, and if you care about momentum, you could just sail right by them. Beware the AI through turns 3 and 4 and turns 9 and 12. Things get a little tight there, they get a little slippery there, and they just aren't as aware of their space. So keep that in mind if you're going for a clean race run. Next, the Vision Gran Turismo Trophy. It's a 5-lap race at the Nürburgring GP, featuring a Vision Gran Turismo car, 850 performance points or less. You can see some of the examples there, which also tend to be the main opponents. And of course, as usual, if you've watched enough of these at this point, you know me. Lexus LFLC Vision GT, my usual preferred 2 car, and usually the one I have. So, let's do a lap around here. So we're going to go right down into the first quarter here, all the way down to second gear. And then through the Mercedes Arena here, these set of corners, second gear for that one, and then second gear for this one as well. Get right on that curve there, and accelerate right here. Some good speed out of there. Then we come up to Valvoline Curve, right through here, and then Ford Curve, second gear. Accelerate right on down here, where we are heading right to Dunlop Curve, but brake right about there when that strip comes up. Second gear, hold it, accelerate right about here. Is all that curve. So we go up to the Michael Schumacher S, which you can do at 5th gear, but I would advise only doing that if it's just you and not any other cars around. And of course, we brake for the Michelin curve, 3rd gear, that curve there, and then keep it in 3rd gear here through the Warsteiner curve, over that, and we just fly through that van. I forgot what it is. And then we brake down to second right at the 100 mark here for the NGK chicane. Accelerate right on out, and then brake right about here as that cone on the right comes up for Coca-Cola curve, and accelerate right on out. And if done right, that is a lap around the Nürburgring GP circuit. So now, onto the race itself. So the ideal overtaking spots I found ideal were along, again, through Dunlop Curve, turns 1 through 7, Michelin Curve through Watkins, and Coca-Cola Curve, turn 15. Beware the AI in the Michael Schumacher S, just not advisable to go for a pass there. And the NGK chicane, turn 12, is just too tight. And as usual, this, the Toyota Vision GT, and the Opel, ideal cars for this. Next, the Group 1 Prototype Series, 15 laps, 4 times fuel use, 6 times tire wear at the Watkins Glen long course. Long-time favorite of mine. 950 performance points or less. You see all the cars here. Now you don't have to use a Group 1 car. You can go crazy if you want. I like the challenge, and I like Watkins Glen. So, I'm going for a hypercar. And of course, a winning hypercar of this race here, the Porsche 963. So, let's go for a lap around. So we're going down the front straightaway here, down to about second gear, and then power right on out. Now this car does tend to be a bit bitey on me, sometimes on acceleration, so be careful. So we go up through the S's. A lot of speed can be gained here. And this is one of the corners where I tend to make up a lot of my time on a lap. We brake right about at the 100 mark here, 4th gear, through the bus stop, carrying a lot of speed there. And I don't even get on throttle all that much. 4th gear through the carousel, accelerate around here till you hit that curb. And we go right down the chute into the boot of the track. So we go through the lace, 3rd gear, 4th gear. And then brake right at the 300 mark for the heel, 2nd gear. Carefully accelerate as you get through here. So right through this back section. And then we come around to the final 2 parts. Again, brake at the 200 mark for the heel of the boot. So we're right on out. And then we brake down the 2nd gear through turn 9. I didn't go to 1st gear for better acceleration. And then through 10, 3rd or 4th gear, whichever you prefer. And then through 11, 3rd gear, accelerate right on out, all the way up to the wall there. And that is a lap around the roller coaster that is the Watkins Glen long course. Now, onto the race itself. So, racing mediums to start and racing softs to end. Watch that left front tire wear though, if you're not careful. Once stopped, the main strategy I usually employ, hitting on lap 10, and pretty much the rest is just a hot lap session. Fuel save a bit until lap 10, short shift, no fuel maps. I found this very effective, especially with this car. Believe me, it will be worth it. Same if you use the BMW hypercar there. It works great, even better with that car too. So, that's how you get through it. And finally, the special race, the Honda Elantra NTC 1-Make. 6 laps at the Red Bull Ring in a Honda Elantra NTC. So, we get that car decked out in a very winning livery if you watch TCR Eastern Europe. So, let's take this thing for a ride around here. So, down the front straightaway here. And we brake to about 3rd gear, I tend to do, with the Niki Lauda curve. So we're right on now. As we go through this stretch here, it goes a bit to the right and then to the left. And then I tend to brake right about before the 100 mark for Remus. Touch that curve just a little bit. And be very careful when you do accelerate there, because it'll kind of hang if you do it too quickly, so you gotta be very smooth as you do it. We set ourselves up here and brake right before the 100 mark for Goss here, I believe that's how you pronounce it. 2nd gear, that corner there. And then we head down to this sequence of corners here, down to 2nd gear. Want to hold that curve, accelerate right on out to here, and then down to 3rd gear on that curve. You want to use that momentum and hit that curve right there on the outside. Good acceleration for this part, and then you want to brake right at the 50 mark here for right, and then again 3rd gear here for Red Bull Mobile chicane. You accelerate right on out on the front straight. And if you've done all that right, that is a lap around the Red Bull Ring. And now, on to the race itself. So, ideal passing spots I found were the Niki Lauda curve, Schlossgold, I believe is what through Worth, turn 3 to turn 5, and Red Bull Mobile, the final corner. Beware of the AI in Remus, turn 2, and right, turn 6. Overtakes, I just would not encourage that. Also, aids off and be gentle on the throttle. This car works better that way. So that's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it, whether you just logged in or haven't logged in quite some time. If you do enjoy these, then give it a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tick the bell icon so you'll be notified when these go live Fridays at 1 p.m. So, that is it for me. Stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next video.